Simplify each algebraic fraction. Part A, 1 over x minus 1 over y divided by 1 over x plus 1 over y. I see we have this compound fraction that has fractions inside of a fraction. So what I want to do first is identify the common denominator among all the fractions inside, which in this case, if we look at each of our denominators, our LCD will be xy. So what I'm going to do is multiply numerator and denominator of the big picture fraction by the LCD. So multiply everything by xy. When we distribute this through on the first term, we're going to have xy over x minus xy over y, all divided by. In the denominator, we multiply this through. We've got xy over x plus xy over y. Now this looks much worse than the original problem did, but we're going to start to reduce things and it's going to get a lot better. On this first fraction, these both have x's. I see that these x's can reduce. Second term, these both have y's. The y's are out of the picture now. In the denominator, the same thing happens. See, we can reduce these x's and we can reduce these y's. Let's now rewrite what's left. In the numerator, we have y minus x. In the denominator, we have y plus x. These can't be factored further, and so that we know we're done. Part B. We're going to go through the same procedure. Identify all the mini denominators first. We have no denominator here, or it's a 1 if you want to think of it that way. We have an x in our denominator here, and we have an x here. That means our common denominator is x. So let's multiply everything, both numerator and denominator, by x. When we distribute this through, we're going to have x squared plus x over x divided by, we distribute in the denominator, we've got x subtract x over x. Next we reduce. So I see these x's can reduce, leaving us with 1. These x's can reduce, leaving us with 1. So if we write this out, we've got x squared plus 1 in the numerator and x minus 1 in the denominator. Now we should try to factor this, but x squared plus 1 is a sum of squares, and those don't factor. So we're finished at this point. Part C, x over yz divided by x over y plus y over z. We identify the common denominator first. I see we have a y, a z, a y, and a z. So it looks like yz will do it. So let's multiply numerator and denominator both by yz. As the problems get more complicated, it may be handy to reduce before we multiply things out. So in the numerator, I see that the yz's will completely reduce out, leaving us with just an x. In the denominator, for the first term, the y's will reduce out, leaving us with z times x, or xz, plus, for the second term, I see here the z's can reduce. All we're left with is y times y, or y squared. This can't factor any further, and so this has been simplified to lowest terms.